A lot of people at one time or another feel like they failed or that they failed in life. Some people still feel that way today, but the question is, do you believe that or not? And the reason why it's important to answer that question as to whether you believe it or not, because it's a thing called perception, right? Perception is how you see life. Some people look at them falling short of reaching certain goals or them being in certain predicaments in life. They look at it as a, temporary setback for a major come up. And other people could go through those same circumstances and feel like their whole life is over. So do yourself a favor. Don't never feel that you failed, no matter what's going on in life. Be it if you lost everything, be it if the odds is against you, be it if everybody turned their back on you, be it if you don't have no support or nobody in your corner, never feel that you failed. Because the moment when you start to think and you start to feel that you failed, that's kind of when the game is over. That's kind of when it's like in boxing, you don't come out for the next round. And you definitely don't want to feel that way, because how you feel is what your mind and your body is gonna react to. If you feel you worthless, then you're gonna act like you worthless. If you feel hopeless, you're gonna act like you hopeless. Same way as if you feel you on top of the world. Eventually you're gonna be on top of the world, you know? Sometimes you gotta psychologically trick yourself into, feeling a certain way. And that's pretty much where, you may be feeling down, you may be feeling bad, you may feel like there's no answers to some of the problems or some of the situations that you face in life. You got to trick yourself into believing, or you got to hype yourself up into believing that everything is going to be okay and everything is going to be all right. And that the things that you're looking at that you may feel is there to destroy you, they're not there to destroy you. They're actually there to build you. See, a lot of us, we get comfortable in life. We get comfortable with where we are. We get comfortable with what we accomplished. We get comfortable with what it is that we have going on. And when you get comfortable, that means you're no longer planning. You're no longer being or staying in a state of preparation, because one thing for sure and two things for certain, in life everything could be going good, and in a blink of an eye everything could be changed. Just like everything could be going bad, and then on that one day something good happens, and then your life take off from there. So again, don't allow your mind to conceive the word failure. You really need to take that out your vocabulary if that's something that you use, because it's not healthy for you, right? So the reality of it is, whatever you're going through in life, and this is for people that's going through, some trying times and some hard times, right? Whatever it is that you're going through in life, if you mad, if you sad, or if you're upset about it, does it change anything? The answer to that is no. How you feel about something doesn't change the circumstances or change what is. You actually have to do something to change the circumstances. What you feel is never going to change anything. What you think is never going to change anything. So when you have that understanding, then you'll know, like, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're dealing with, that's only right now. That doesn't mean that's how things are going to be tomorrow, how things are going to be next week, how things are going to be next month or next year. Think about, take a trip back down memory lane. Go back to the time when you was young, when you didn't have no bills, you didn't have no responsibilities, you was being taken care of by somebody, be it your parents or whoever it was that was raising you. All of the issues and all of the things that you start to experience as an adult, those same things was going on when you was a child. You just didn't know about it. So in reality, is what you go through, do that really has the power to change your life or upset your life or throw the balance of your life off? No, it doesn't. It's about the choices that you make. You could choose to stay in the predicament that you're in. You could choose to be stuck in the, dealing with the lifestyle that you're dealing with. Or you can choose to do something about it. That's the power that you have. You choose whether things stay the same or you choose whether things is going to change. And that boils down to your actions. What are you going to do about it? And the reason why I gave the scenario as to, the point in time where we were kids and we was being taken care of by adults, and we didn't have no knowledge of, some of the pitfalls that we're going to face in life. We was just living life like it's golden. And those parents or those adults in our life, they're the ones that was going through the things. And if they folded, then we probably wouldn't have made it to where we made it to. And some parents did fold, or some parents, wasn't really there the way that they needed to be. And when you're young, that's something that you don't have no control over. So you really can't let it bother you. But when you're older, this is wherein you have the power to decide how your life is going to play out. So do yourself a favor and choose wisely. It don't matter if you get knocked down 100 times. Get up 101 times. Because when you stay down, that's when you defeat it. So long as you got air in your lungs, you got breath in your body, your heart beats, and you wake up every day, you have another opportunity to make a difference in your life and in your circumstances. So get out of the habit of complaining about how bad life is, how sad life is, everything going on. Listen, nobody don't want to hear your pity party. And if you're around people that support the pity party, then you need to get from around them. Because if you're going through something in life, you need to be around people that are strong and people that's going to offer you some kind of solutions. Especially if you can't find the solutions yourself. There's always a way. It may take some effort. It may be hard. It may be a little struggle. Things may be difficult for a little while until you start to make some progress. But that's just the process that you got to go through. And a lot of people want to skip that process. A lot of people want to make it to the top floor without starting on the bottom floor. Because they want to be an overnight success. And if you skip all of those steps on the way to the top, when you get to the top, you're not going to be prepared to handle what's going on up there. And see, this is why a lot of people that when they get to the top, this is why they fall back down. Because it was a lot of lessons that you were supposed to learn on those steps leading up to the top. It was a lot of knowledge and information and a type of personality and mindset that you was supposed to equip yourself with, so that you can handle all of the responsibilities that you're going to have when you get to the top. So don't be scared to take things step by step, because every step that you take is certain things that need to be learned on that level before you go to the next level. And if you sitting around and asking yourself why my life is like this, why it seemed like nothing never goes right, why it seemed like every time I turn around it's always something else, that's because you didn't learn what you needed to learn on that level. So it's no way possible that you're going to go to the next level. You're not going to be able to skip steps. If you can't master what's going on the level that you're on right now, how are you going to handle things when you get to the next level where things is going to be a little bit more harder, things is going to be a little bit more difficult, it's going to be more things that you have to worry about? So appreciate the level that you on. Learn how to master the level that you on. Learn how to appreciate the struggle, because the struggle is going to do a couple of things. The struggle is either going to make you or it's going to break you. The struggle is going to show you what you built for as well as what you not built for. So if there's any confusion in terms of why you didn't elevate yet, why you didn't get to a certain level, why you don't have some of the things that you want to have in life, it's because you didn't learn how to manage the things that you have on the level that you're on now. So stop looking around. Stop thinking it's life. Stop thinking, it's people. Stop thinking you cursed. Stop thinking that life is over. Stop thinking that you're not going to make it. Because all of those things are poisonous thoughts that if you allow them to grow, that's what's going to become your circumstances. You have to feed yourself every day. If you don't like where you are in life, then it's time to get up and do something about it. But the one thing that you don't do is believe that you failed in anything. Because there's no such thing. Even when you fall short of accomplishing your goals, you learn something that will help you not to make that same mistake again in the future. But if you're stuck on the fact that things didn't work out, then that's where you're going to be stuck at. Because if that didn't work out, why you can't try something else? And if that don't work out, why you can't try something else? But what if that don't work out? Try something else. And then if that don't work out, try something else. Because eventually you're going to try something that works. If you only try one thing or two things and they don't work out and you give up, that's on you. Because there's many different roads that leads to the top. Everybody don't travel down one road. There are many different roads that lead to the top. But the first road that you need to take is accept your circumstances for what they are. Come up with a game plan to try to change them. And if you don't put in no effort to try to change them, if they stay the same, that's nobody's business but yours. It's nobody's fault but yours. The lotto ain't made for everybody to hit it. What they say, 1 in a billion, 1 in a million. So out of 1 million people that's playing the lottery, one person hit. It's the same thing with life. Don't think that some miracle is going to come and change your life and change your circumstances. Because if you don't put the effort into changing them, ain't nothing going to change. Always remember that. be blessed.